Hey, Internet. It's Paul, it's Amber, it's Matt. We're here to talk about Game of Thrones, Season 7, Episode 3, The Queen's Justice. Alright, Amber, we're going to start off with you. General thoughts about this episode.
I'm so happy that Jon and Daenerys finally met. If they drag that out any longer, I'm probably going to have to stop watching and just wait and binge it all at once.
I thought they might wait till the end of the episode, and they didn't. They were like, right off the beginning, boom. I was like, thank you.
That whole thing was amazing, and she needs to wisen up a little bit and stop seeing, and like now all of a sudden she sees everybody as an enemy, but she's been going all these years seeing the good in everybody, and now she finally meets a good person, and he's the enemy.
Much like last week with Varys, where she was like, I don't trust you now that we're over here helping each other.
Melisandre shows up, and she's like, hey, buddy.
It's true. John's much less creepy, so, you'd think you'd give him more of a break.
That's true. So what about you, Paul? General thoughts?
Oh, yeah, I enjoyed the episode, definitely. I'm glad that happened. And I think it was a fitting end for, what was her name?
Olenna?
Yes, Olenna. Thank you. I don't know why I keep liking Olenna. But
we took more pieces off the board, it's true. So we took Olenna off the board, and we've theoretically taken the Sand Snakes off the board.
Yeah.
I mean, theoretically they're still alive, but I don't think there's a rescue
just
coming.
Just a Sand Mother. That's all you got left.
Well, I mean, again, technically the daughter's still alive for hours or days. But yeah, I think the idea is...
I thought that Jaime might have snuck in to try to save the daughter. Because he,
or Bronn, maybe.
Or somebody, but once I think Jaime found out what happened to the evil son, that pretty much put the kibosh on any rescue for the season.
And he's theoretically he's far away in the High Garden, although
but
travel doesn't matter.
There's a really fast-moving train that gets everybody, because he was in bed with Cersei that morning, and sometime after lunch, he was, so...
Which, okay, we'll talk about that. Well, we're not doing it in linear form. Yeah, that's fine. No. So Cersei... After coming up with this divine torture plan, immediately wants to have sex with Jaime and let everyone know she's having sex with her brother.
Yeah.
And he seems reluctant.
Well, he's used to, he's not the queen. So.
Well, I mean, in other words, I think I felt like maybe there was a little bit of like, no, we shouldn't do this.
And you mean before the act?
Before the
revealing of the act.
Not the revealing of the act, but both, right. He's like, first, don't reveal, but also, I think we're seeing, especially with Olenna's, monologue to him about, she's a monster, right? You know that she's a horrible person and she's probably going to result in your death. Like, I think he's hearing enough and getting enough implicated that he's starting to pull away from that relationship. That's what I'm getting out of that.
That's why I do think that they're going more towards Jaime's going to end up killing Cersei, because he's starting to see too much of this evil. But I don't think the death of Joffrey was enough to push him over the edge, but it's enough that I think he could definitely be the one who's going to kill her.
So there were three... I noted there were three people prophesized to die in this episode. So one was...
Viserys.
I was talking about Varys and Melisandre.
Yes.
And Jaime.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
So Melisandre says, Melisandre, are going to come back. I'm going to the east. I'm going to come back to the west to die. And you, Varys, are also going to die here in the west.
Right. Yes.
I kind of believe that.
Sure.
She seems to be pretty good on the prophecies, with the exception of the Stannis stuff. I think she's. We can believe her when she says those kind of things.
Sure, yeah.
Like the fact that she says she's going to see Arya again. I think she is going to see Arya again at some point.
No, she's got the power and she's got the insight. I just think that her intentions are.
So because I wasn't 100% sure that Varys would die in the show. I kind of felt like he might be one of those that might survive to the end, but. So it's kind of an interesting, nope, he's most likely going to bite it somehow. And he seems surprised, too. Like, what? Wait, what?
Each of them has a connection to the surviving three. Again, when the three deaths were suggested, the whole three writers thing. So, Jaime and Cersei. Right. Melisandre has the connection to Jon. And then Varys has the connection to Daenerys. And so I could see those three being killed off. In a way, if that's the way they were going to go. So then, because those are the three strongest supporters besides Tyrion. And nobody can kill Tyrion. He's going to live forever.
Tyrion is deathless.
Spoiler, Tyrion's never going to die.
Never hit him. So.
So yeah, all right. So now let's take it back to the top. So
Yes.
Jon shows up at Dragonstone, has a nice little meeting with Tyrion, where they
Well,
they
after
reconnect.
they took away his weapons, but yes, it was nice.
Yes.
That's nice. Hello, bastard. Hello, N.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, hi, you're the
Little
dwarf.
pet names for each other.
Yeah. Also, interestingly, the Tyrion says something like, "Well, it's always bad for Starks to go south." Jon says, "I'm not a Stark."
Yeah, that's the loophole.
And then a dragon flies over his head, just in case you're like, "He's a Targaryen." All right, but that was kind of an interesting little narrative moment.
Yeah.
A little awkward. I wasn't exactly sure the exchange between Davos and Missandei when he's like trying to like, "Oh, where are you from?" And she's like, "I'm from this place." He's like, "Oh, that's where the butterflies are." And then, and then he turns to Jon and says, "This place has changed."
Yeah.
And it's the way he says this place has changed is what throws. If he had just said, "Wow, this place has changed. It's really nice," like that would have made sense because they used to burn people or whatever. Like, but the way he said it sounded ominous. Like, this place has changed.
Yeah,
I didn't
couldn't
get that.
follow that
Yeah,
because
it was kinda
there's no evil going on.
Yeah, maybe it was just a
There.
weird line reading or something. But
Maybe it's changed since he was last there with what's his face?
right with Stannis.
With Stannis and that.
I
I
don't
don't
know.
know. Maybe it's a different mood.
Yeah.
Maybe the mood has changed.
I was just trying to read something into the way he said it, and I don't know. It confused me a little bit.
Yeah, there's something coming with that.
Okay. All right. Fair
Yeah.
enough. So then they get to the Great Hall, and little comedic beat, which I enjoy, was the Missandei describes all the titles,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
and then this is Jon Snow. Oh, he's King of the North.
Yeah.
But it was like that's a fun beat. I actually enjoyed Davos quite a bit.
Yes.
I think he is with that
like
one
the
line
onion mix.
aside.
And by the end of it, it's like if he really tried, he really could have come up with the whole thing. He's
Right.
the guy who did this, and he's the guy who did that, and he's the other. It's like, oh yeah,
He's the defeater
Actually,
of the
I do know
Night
his-
Walkers.
I
He's
do
the
know
king
his
of
resume.
the wall. He's
Yeah.
Yeah.
or the whatever his
And his
title
points were
was
great.
as
I mean,
well.
he said, he didn't do this by birth. He did it. He encouraged loyalty through his actions,
Mm-hmm.
and I think that's a good point to make. Obviously, Jon's refusing to bend the knee,
Yes.
which I guess Daenerys thought he would. Oh.
Yes, I think she's naive and she thinks that once she shows up, because she's got 3 dragons, that means everybody's going to be like, oh, I'm scared. Okay,
Yeah.
yes, allow me to bend the knee.
Yeah.
And Jon Snow's not going to bend the knee to anybody. He's
Yeah,
Jon
I think she
frickin'
thought that
Snow.
the fact that he came there in the first place suggests that like that's obviously your only play. Why
Mm-hmm.
wouldn't you come here unless you were
Yeah.
bending the knee? And no, he has got another reason to be there.
Yeah.
Which again, still no one believes him. Although Tyrion is like, your word's good enough for me. White Walker's got it. But Daenerys obviously doesn't believe it, but she's willing to let him mine this dragon glass.
Right.
Which, it's kind of interesting because it's like, yes, it doesn't mean anything to her. Oh, as Tyrion points out, oh, it's worthless to you. Why not
didn't
just
even
let
know
him
it
do
was
this?
here.
Right.
But on the other hand, having people come and mine under
Yeah,
your
that's the
castle,
thing that,
like, that's a pretty big deal.
Well, yeah, beyond yes, like I was thinking about the resource of having people do it. It's like, okay, yeah, you're not going to fight, so you can dig. I guess
Yeah.
so it's okay.
Where she doesn't have any resources. She sends everybody off on a voyage, and
Well,
they're all dying.
I got the opinion too that she was allowing him, and like if he needed people to come in and dig, she would provide the resources, but maybe he could have his own resources, and they could. I'm just saying, if he was malicious, which he's not, but if he was, like, oh yeah, I'm just mining under your castle. I'm not doing anything else.
I'm not playing.
Anyway, but yeah, it's good. That plot line is progressing.
Well, that's a good reason to have somebody working with them of her own people.
Yeah, yeah.
Hey, that looks like you're doing something.
Why do we need so much dynamite again?
Yeah.
And there does come that moment. So when Tyrion and Jon have that discussion out on the parapets or wherever they are, where he's like, I was trying to outbrood
That's
you.
fancy
You're
word.
brooding
Oh,
better
yes.
than me. He, it comes up that moment of how do we convince people that this is a threat? And from what we've seen of the trailers and stuff, the idea is that Jon is eventually going to go north and capture a White Walker to show people. That's the idea. And so I thought they were even going to mention it right there. Like, well, maybe if I went and got one.
How do you control a White Walker?
Yeah, really.
Like, how would you even capture one to keep them under control? I'm sure they've all got
put
some
them in
sort
a
of
box,
freezing power,
right?
and I don't know. That just seems. I'm interested in how he's going to be able to capture them. Like in The Walking Dead, you just cut off their arms and their jaw, and they're no longer harmful. So maybe that's what you do with a White Walker. It's just
hack
out parts, and yeah.
Look at how he's still moving.
But I would even, to that point, which again, this is not necessarily about this episode, but even if you had one, would that do it? I mean, I guess one is like, it's an undead creature.
I think it would be enough because everybody believes they no longer exist.
Yeah.
So
then you're like,
evidence of
there's a bunch of them, trust me.
Yeah.
That's the part where you're like, well, how do we know? I mean, we could just be this one. I don't know. Maybe there's 10. Are there a dozen?
Yeah. They should probably just go and get a White Walker giant.
They need to create.
Just Snapchat. Yeah.
They need to create a video camera, and then they take video of it,
Yes.
and then they upload it.
There you go.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
really good.
So now we've got Euron brings the prisoners to King's Landing, and I was a little confused. Did he leave Yara there, or did he bring her and then take her back?
I don't know.
He brought her to the castle. She was standing behind him when he was talking to Cersei.
Right.
And that awkward interaction where he's asking Jaime for how to seduce his sister.
Yeah.
Advice.
Which again, it seems like he's just poking at a guy that you shouldn't poke at.
And then he's also the second guy to ride in on a horse, and it didn't end well for the first guy who did it. And you're kind of thinking that it's not going to end well for this guy who rides in on a horse. And then he's like, "Hey, Jaime, tell me about how you make love to your sister."
Who doesn't know that at this point, I guess, too? It's like, it seems like the world knows.
Most people don't bring it up to their faces, I guess.
Yeah, that's kind of like, this guy is bold.
Yeah, it's just...
That seemed like his thing, where it's like, hey, I seem to get a lot by just being a jerk, and like, hey, can I get away with this? I did! Yeah. What do you know?
Like, that's, he's... Yeah, just of the dangerous people that you would want to antagonize, it's probably not... there's a list of people you probably wouldn't want to antagonize that way. Jaime's on that list.
Yeah.
And did he bring it up before or after Cersei said, if we win the battle, then you'll get what you want?
I think it was after.
He operates in that. He knows that once he's done something, like bringing the sand snakes, then he gets more inappropriate. And then when she promises to marry him once they win the battle, then he goes even further. He's going to go too far, and I think the mountain's probably going to end up crushing him just from being annoyed by him, talking inappropriately.
Tries to carry on a conversation with the mountain. That would actually be pretty good.
Yeah, that would
I would like that.
Yeah.
Just silence. So he does the antagonist. But I just, Yara, we feel like is still at King's Landing somewhere in a prison.
Yeah.
We don't think that maybe he took her back.
Like a pet or something?
Yeah, or like, hey, I want to take you to my own prisons back in Pike. I just noticed that they do show Pike in the opening sequence of the... Like somehow we're going to go there at some point.
I think it would be best if unless he was using her to torture her. I don't see any other reason why he'd bring her back with him.
Yeah, it doesn't...
It probably would make more sense to leave her...
So she's got her own cell, in other words.
She's got her own cell, and she's being starved and treated horribly, and
maybe like a hostage situation.
Something like that, yeah. Because the more hostages that Cersei gets, then the more bargaining she has with all these people. So it's like she's going to collect an important person from everybody who's opposing her.
Yeah, ransom. But she's not intending to ransom the Sand Snakes, obviously. So the idea there is she gives the kiss to the daughter.
Yes.
The mom's got to watch the daughter die, and then not only that, like, watch her corpse.
Yes,
that was the part that was like,
yeah.
Man.
You will live for a long time watching her rot.
Yeah, that's like the extra level of like extra crazy.
Yes.
I didn't like that scene.
Okay.
I didn't like the writing in that scene. I thought it was very on Cersei, and I don't know if they're really trying to kick her into a crazy place.
Okay.
Like the Mad King sort of level of crazy.
In what way?
It's the writing and the dialogue just seemed very un-Cersei in that it was harsh and not typical. Like when she was talking about her daughter, that was like the love and she had for her daughter and all that. And the way she kissed that girl, then was just like, it was kind of Joker-esque crazy. And I don't know. I didn't like that scene.
I was thinking back though to when she had the Septa tortured last season. The one who was
Yeah.
I mean, she was pretty crazy then too.
Every time she does this, they're making her. She's more Mad King than Cersei. Something about sitting on that Iron Throne. Maybe it's mercury poisoning or lead poisoning or something. Maybe there's asbestos in the chair or something that makes them crazy.
Dragon glass. We don't know what it does.
We don't know what it does.
Know.
There's been no study.
Yeah, but that was kind of full on villainy kind of thing. Now Ilaria Sand, was pretty horrible. So in terms of not that you deserve necessarily to have horrible things happen to you, but
in the world of Game of Thrones, yes, you do.
Yeah.
There's no sympathy or pity for anybody. You do something evil like kill an innocent 13-year-old girl, you deserve horrible things to happen to you.
Yeah, and so it goes. But plus, she also killed her brother to take over and stuff. So she even did whatever revenge things. She was just like, I'm killing people. Now I'm screwed.
Mm-hmm.
But so we also see. The grand plan comes together, or doesn't. We have Tyrion talking about, all right, we're going to go after Castle Rock. Now, did you get from this, as he's describing it, and we hear the voiceover?
Oh, yes.
He's describing what he thinks is going to happen, or that's not actually what happens? When he says, it'll be they're expecting a full frontal assault, and we'll have a lot of losses. And then he's like, but I know a way in. What I got out of that was, what we're seeing is his imagination of what was going to happen, and then instead it's actually we just broke in and we didn't lose anybody.
No. I think their plan was to lose some people trying to get up the wall while other people were going around to the back. Okay. I think we were seeing what their plan was as was happening.
Okay.
Wasn't that the crazy Uncle Greyjoy's boats in the harbor?
Yeah. So basically we're seeing that Tyrion is getting out-strategized at the moment.
Yeah.
His brother is kicking his butt.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So what basically the Lannisters did was, and that's in the description of the episode, it said Jaime learns from his mistakes, and what we find out by the end is that Jaime learned from when Robb tricked him, and so he tricks Tyrion by going, I'll give up Castle Rock. We don't have much there anyway, and instead I'm going to take Highgarden, and I'm going to have the Navy come and get rid of your ships
and strand the guys.
And so now there's the Unsullied are stranded at Castle Rock.
Yeah.
So
they can make ships pretty quick.
Yeah, apparently in the show, 1,000 ships. They made them
gotten over their fear of water.
A couple days. They can now swim. They've been taking swimming lessons, so they're fine. Yeah. Maybe they can, Jack and Rose it and just float on some pieces of wood for a while. And
call up Gendry. He figured out a way to paddle for somewhere 3 seasons.
Yeah, it's been years. That guy's
ripped. He's Mountain 2.
Yeah, no, I think you're right in that it was, at first it was Tyrion imagining what it was going to be, but then all of a sudden when they got to the top, that's not how it all played out. When Grey Worm was standing up on top, it's like, nope, but there's the surprise Tyrion didn't count on.
So what we see is the next episode is Spoils of War or something like that, and it promises to be perhaps the biggest battle ever in Game of Thrones history.
Right.
And we do see scenes that are pretty intense with dragons flying over Dothraki. Mm-hmm. What I haven't seen in those scenes are Unsullied. And so I'm wondering, are the Unsullied just trapped at Castle Rock and aren't going to be a part of this fight? Or are they magically going to overland it, hoop it all the way around to Highgarden and still be there in time for the battle? I don't know.
I don't know. But the way they do time in the show, it could quite possibly be months from now is when the battle's happening. And they've had enough time to build cars and lay down tracks.
The limiting factor on the time would be that. So we have that scene from the Iron Bank when the Iron Bank guy shows up.
Mycroft Holmes. Did I never notice that Mycroft Holmes was the banker before?
Who also helped to write the Sherlock series.
Yes.
He is. He's the. I forgot his name. The Iron Bank guy. The Bravos guy.
The bank teller.
So Cersei. Lets him have it, basically. Tells him, puts him in his place. Says, hey, you can stay here for a fortnight, a la 14 days. And in that time, I will pay off all our debts. And so her obviously intention is, once we get Highgarden, we'll take all their money and we'll bring it back and I'll pay you. So what I'm assuming is they've got 2 weeks to get the gold back from Highgarden back to King's Landing to pay the dude. So somewhere in there is where this battle's going to happen. And I think the idea is that Daenerys will win and bless you, and take the money away so that Cersei can't pay the bank is my guess.
It would be great if a Lannister could finally not pay a debt.
Right.
Like, that would
Lannister,
be great if all of a sudden a Lannister doesn't pay. I mean, because that could also be a great way for Cersei to slowly start crumbling, because we know she's going to crumble. She's not going to win.
Right. No.
And so that would be, I like
That's
that
true.
idea.
A Lannister always gives an IOU.
A Lannister always refinances her castle.
This coupon is redeemable at any associated Lannister.
So I've got a 401k.
Yeah. So we do have that scene. Another. I enjoyed the Olenna versus Jaime bit. Now, what did you think about? I kind of mixed emotions on not showing the Battle of Highgarden. Like, on the one hand, it gets on with the plot.
Yeah.
Okay, we move on. All it was just Jaime walking through the castle.
Yeah.
On the other hand, it was like, okay. I don't know.
I'm fine with there not being a battle at Highgarden, because I never really thought Highgarden was a place that had really well-trained soldiers or anything like that.
She makes the point of like we never were really good at fighting.
Yeah,
Right,
so
which
kind
you
of
could look at it as sort of like, we didn't want to spend the money on that, but what would be the importance of it? Since they're supposed to win anyway, it's better if they win and not be challenged too much.
It is interesting that, like, if let's say, let's put yourself in Olenna's position. I'm in a fairly well fortified castle, right? They're rich, at least.
Yep.
Trying to buy roses.
And I know my troops aren't that great.
Nope.
Would I send my troops out to fight an army that's approaching? I don't think I would. I'd be like, hey, we can last in this castle for like a year. Why don't we just hang out?
I don't think she would sacrifice anybody, knowing that what their strength is money.
Plus, she knows the longer that she can make Jaime wait, the more there's a person with dragons that's on her side that will eventually show up to help.
Yeah.
It seems weird that it ended that quickly. Like, how did you talk her out of just giving the castle up? I don't know. Anyway,
Maybe she's got her own red priestess, too, who can cure her or bring her back when she dies from this poison. I kind of don't feel like we're done with her.
Really?
Oh, really?
I don't. I don't feel like... I think if we were done with her, we would have seen her die. We always see them die. We never see a fade out.
That's a good point. Like, I don't necessarily have a problem with this, but it is interesting that Game of Thrones was given a chance to show some gruesome deaths in this episode. They could have shown a gruesome death of the daughter.
True.
Mm-hmm.
They could have shown a gruesome death of Olenna. And they kind of went with more like a... We're basic cable. The basic cable version. You die off screen.
Version of Game of Thrones.
Yeah. Which I'm okay with.
We saw the daughter die, so,
Which daughter?
The one that caused the whole thing where it's like, now I'm going to get my revenge on you. Jaime's daughter.
I'm talking about that last season.
Yeah.
I know, I'm saying, so they've established that they don't have a problem.
We saw Oberon's head smash into a grate.
Yeah,
too.
So that's why I don't think that she's dead, because they didn't show her die. And they always show actual deaths.
I feel like this close toward the end of the whole series, I don't know. I think she's gone.
She could be, but I mean, even like when Jon, at the end of season 4, when he got shot up with all the arrows, whatever season that was, he was still alive in the last scene. Like, he hadn't gone yet. And then
when he was stabbed.
When he was stabbed, yeah. And then, so it's like, okay, he could still be alive. And it's kind of the same thing with her, I feel. Okay. I'm not convinced. I mean, I'm not going to be surprised if, she's gone, but... I
was actually a little surprised that... So she drinks the thing. She's like, all right, I'm dying. By the way, I'm glad your son died in pain. I killed your son. I was kind of expecting maybe Jaime was going to be like... Or like, throw her or crush her.
It's like, I wanted to be nice to you until now.
Until now. I have a few seconds where I could really do horrible things to you. But he doesn't.
He's a gentleman.
And so again, it was the basic cable version. We'll let you die off screen peacefully.
Yeah.
It's in your contract. So there was that.
Samwell. is now the master of grayscale and cures grayscale for a living.
He did not get thrown out. We
No.
theorized that maybe this would get him thrown out of the Citadel, but it did not.
So presumably he's got one more thing to learn.
Right, because he's conveniently now transcribing rotting scrolls. So old information that he's going to
They
learn.
apparently have bugs in them that can bite.
Oh, that's right.
Oh, I know it's like
Mites.
their paper.
Ooh. So the things he could learn, I mean, the idea of forging or reforging Valyrian steel is a thing that would come in with Gendry perhaps as a blacksmith. And then the other thing that I would think he might learn is maybe something about Jon's parentage. That could be a thing, maybe. Some
Do we
old
think
scroll.
anybody knows about Jon's parentage that would actually have it written down?
I'm just saying.
I'm just wondering.
Like if Rhaegar Targaryen had a scribe or something, it's like, this is my journal. Today I
write down everything I do as I do it.
Yeah, right.
Or you got one person telling, that's presumably what he's going to tell Jon once he sees him, the Raven or whatever.
Oh yeah.
Bran. So we'll talk about Bran in just a second.
Right. So you already have Bran telling,
Sure,
You need
but it's just
somebody
like,
else, and
Bran
here's
is right
further
now-
documentation.
Creepy, and stoned, and I don't know that I trust everything he told me. I mean, I should, because he probably is telling the truth.
Yeah.
But if he's just a guy came up to me and I'm like, "You're my brother, but I haven't seen you in a while. Now you're creepy."
All he has to do is like, "Oh, you were 12 years old, and your mother came on in when you were looking at a parchment." Okay, I believe you.
I think that not only, there are two ways in which the information has to get revealed. One, Jon has to believe it, but more importantly, the world has to believe it. I don't think the world's going to believe it just because Bran says it. You're going to need some kind of proof, which is why maybe at the Citadel there might be a thing where it's like, oh, this shows that they were married on this day.
Because I thought the same thing. Like, it's not just enough that Bran had a vision of, because he went on a acid trip and had a vision.
My dream quest.
Yeah, which is weird. And I read some stuff online. It was funny. People were commenting on Bran. He's the kid who goes abroad for a year after high school and comes back all Mr. Worldly, knowing everything. He's like, well, when I was studying with the three-eyed raven, he's kind of a douche.
Real quick before we jump into the Bran Sansa stuff, I did note that Daenerys does mention Rhaegar. In this episode, she mentions Rhaegal as the dragon, and she says it's named after Rhaegar.
Oh, yeah.
And so they do bring that back around, and she's saying it to Jon, and you're like, wow, you're right there. And she does say something like, "I'm the last Stark." Nope.
Yeah.
She's talking to the guy. Anyway, it's just interesting. They're just kind of setting all those up of like these little Stark things.
Yeah, I like that theory though, that it's written down somewhere, and Samwell's going to be the one who uncovers it.
Yeah, could be the way that happens. Sansa is administrating effectively. Mm-hmm. Littlefinger has the little speech to her,
following her around.
Yeah, with the "You must fight all the battles in your mind, Sensei.
Wax on, wax off.
You will never be surprised ever." Which obviously means he's going to be surprised.
Yeah.
At some point, he's going to be like, "What? I didn't see that coming." But then we have Bran arrives and is creepy.
And he's just out of his mind on lots of
She's
aspects.
like so excited to see him,
Yes, yeah.
runs and hugs him, and he's like, "Don't touch me!" Like he's not paralyzing his arms, is he?
No, but apparently he's becoming paralyzed in his brain and in his heart.
So yeah, his heart is he is becoming less human, and
He's losing brain cells from all that tree stuff he's been smoking. And
I was comparing it a little bit. We're talking to Paul, like in the Watchmen. There's Dr. Manhattan.
Oh, yeah.
It becomes, he's a human who gets these powers and becomes so powerful that he kind of forgets his humanity, and he's not really human anymore. Although he's I kind of feel like, in some ways, these powers that he's taken on, he's not really a human anymore.
Right.
He was reminding me a lot of the old Three-Eyed Raven.
Except I almost felt like that guy at least had like a mentor type
But he had
feel.
like years of experience to get there.
Yeah.
I'm sure when he first became the Three-Eyed Raven, he was also a 15-year-old douchebag.
Hello, I am Bran. I have returned.
I am your brother.
I speak with a monotone.
Hello, Sansa.
And then he brings up the night she was sexually assaulted, and is like,
Why couldn't you recall anything else?
if you've seen everything, which he says, I see everything in fragments. I'll point the one thing that's really painful to you, and then I'll even make it more painful because I watched it.
Yeah.
Like, oh God.
You could have brought up the day when her and Tyrion were walking and joking and making fun of people around. Like, that could have been... Well, he had to go really hardcore.
Yeah.
And,
Or the time, you met up with Brienne, and she said, "Hey, I'm at your service."
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Oh, you are? Okay, you do see the past. Got it.
of all the characters, he's had it pretty damn easy as far as I'm concerned.
It demonstrates a complete lack of empathy. It's kind of what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So it does, that humanness in him is gone at
Yep,
this point.
it's gone.
And so I think it also leads into the fact that when he says, I can't be king because I'm the three-eyed raven, and she's like, what the hell are you talking about? But he can't be king not just because of that. It's because he's not a dude, and he's just
It actually reminded me of Charles Manson.
Okay.
Like,
a little less animated, but yeah.
but more of a, like, he's now going to start his own cult. Because he's the three-eyed raven.
He's the three-eyed raven.
And he's going to preach to people at the trees.
And he's like, oh, and I was taught by the three-eyed raven. She's like, well, I thought you just said you were the three-eyed raven. It's a long story. Don't interrupt me.
Your cutie mind can't understand.
Yeah. So
he's a cult leader now.
He's also, like, it's weird because this is the first time that I've thought of him as, like, morally neutral. Almost. Like, I don't even necessarily know that he's a good guy. And after that little moment, like, I'm not saying he's evil. I'm just like, is he even necessarily a good guy?
He hasn't really talked about, I mean, presumably he knows better than anybody else, even more than John, about these White Walkers, right? So if there's anybody could be like, you probably should stop them. But, will he be passionate about that? Does he actually want them? Or he's just like, it's going to be interesting when the White Walkers come.
Now, he does have, I'm forgetting her name, the girl who carried him like thousands of miles.
That girl looks like she's just about to break in half.
And she has seen the White Walkers, so she's somebody else that can add to the thing of like, look, by the way...
Uncle Benjen is right outside the wall.
Yeah.
And he's part White Walker.
But he's north.
But
there's some information that you would think Bran would have already mentioned.
Immediately, shouted out,
uncle's
hey,
alive.
by the way, guys.
He could have also mentioned, by the way, John's a Targaryen.
Yeah, I don't know why he didn't tell his sister that. But,
so
lets you know that he's not really.
He's holding on.
He's going to piece out information as he sees fit because he's the all-powerful, all-knowing three-eyed raven now.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, he's just a douche now.
Yeah, he's like a little. You turn the dial a little bit. He's the emperor.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Because you're the three-eyed raven, but you're also a Stark.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. So it's just he was creepier than I thought he would because he wasn't that creepy.
Not at all.
Even in the last time we saw him he was entering the wall and he did give the in the past you were out and afraid, but I don't know.
Didn't you just say that he spoke that way because he was tired and like weak or something?
Yeah. Right.
No, apparently that's how he talks now.
Control Alt Delete.
Yeah.
I will.
Your mother was viciously killed by an alligator.
Yeah.
Yeah. It just says something random to say. He comes up with the most like.
Yeah. So it'd be interesting to see how that progresses. I assume what's going to happen is, he's going to maybe be because he can see everything, that he will maybe see into what Littlefinger's really up to and maybe convince Sansa and Arya that he should be dealt with. That's what I'm wondering. That's what I'm
really.
What's taking Arya so long to get to the damn Winterfell?
Yeah, everybody else can travel fast.
Bran's traveling from the Wall to Winterfell, and she's like
He went to Dragonstone. He's already there.
In John already
He's been there. He's been trapped there for days.
Yeah.
I don't understand. She get lost?
Yeah,
Did
maybe
she take
she'll
a
chase the
wrong
woods.
turn?
She's like, where did? Oh, I haven't been here in so long. Where was? Oh, crap! I went to Winterfold. Oh, it's that other place. Anyway. So yeah. Anyway, that's the episode. Mm-hmm. We're looking forward next week. As I say, I think there's going to be a big battle set piece. For better or worse, I think for better. And what else did we see in the trailer or anything? We do see Daenerys saying, "I'm losing," which we all know already. But
there's something with the maps. There's something. Everyone's always got a map.
I think I saw
a lot on maps and stuff.
I think I saw the dagger, the Valyrian dagger being told at one point, which
there's something they're piecing together. There's puzzles or something that everyone's going to have a piece of a puzzle, and I'm waiting for that to reveal itself because there's too much focus on Everyone's always looking at a map now.
Maps. So the "I'm losing" comment may be taken into context with Olenna telling Daenerys, "Be the dragon," from the episode before.
Yeah.
I think maybe that is leading up to "Screw it, I'm using dragons," which is why we do see dragons being
Maybe
used
it's
in
not
the,
that
in
she
the
would
battle.
just jump on the back of a dragon, go for a ride with her 3 best
Yeah,
friends, and
they're
just
like,
take
"Don't do that."
Westeros.
But she's going to do it. She is going to fight on a dragon in this episode because we've seen it in the trailers.
Yeah.
So, okay, this actually, okay, I know I was like, we're going to finish, but I do have one last thing. Based on a trailer I saw where we see Jaime, like, with a lance, and he's, like, riding with a lance, kind of with, and then we see him falling into water, and there's, like, fire coming over the top of him. I think that scene is suggesting that Jaime is attempting to joust with a dragon. I think he's trying to take a dragon out, which means the dragon is on the ground.
Slow.
Otherwise, if it was flying, you wouldn't be able to lance it. So
That's true.
it wouldn't be on the ground unless it had a reason to be on the ground. So I think in this battle, he's going to get shot by the crossbow ballista thing that Qyburn was creating back in episode 1.
Seems reasonable.
And then Jaime's trying to finish it off, but before he can do that, he gets intercepted somehow.
Yeah, because I thought about that crossbow. It only works if the dragon's standing still.
Right. So it probably wings him. It probably doesn't.
Something,
They
yeah.
hit him like in the
Yeah,
chest or
you know what
something,
you're
or
doing.
in the wing,
Yes,
maybe
right.
through the wing. Because you don't introduce the ballista without using it. It's the Chekhov's
It's
ballista.
too big to hide.
Yeah, so they're gonna use it at some point.
Not a
It's
say
like
hello
has
to
a
my
whole
little
armory.
friend sort of.
Yeah. Plus, if you can build one, you think you just build a bunch of them.
Right, you got the blueprints.
Yeah,
You got the
it's-
wood. You can
it's
build
wood and
anything
steel,
in
like-
days.
Done.
We agree.
You can
We
build
should
1,000
do
ships in a
ship,
day.
1,000 ships?
Yeah.
So
It's one ballista a year. It's a ballista union, and they're very specific on
They have rules.
Yeah. Like, I want to put a
That's
note.
true.
Nope. So yeah, I do think a ballista is going to take down. I assume it'd be
Maybe we're
Drogon.
losing a
She'd be
dragon.
riding Drogon, I would think.
Yeah.
So
I will be sad when we lose a dragon.
I don't think Drogon's going to die though.
You're gonna feel less bad if he ends up becoming like a white dragon.
Yeah, that's the idea. Is that he'll if he goes down north of the wall, then the Night King.
I'll feel bad
Vamps them.
regardless.
Okay.
I like the dragons more than anybody. Well, except Tyrion.
So you know,
And
yeah,
Jon
okay.
Snow.
It's not
Jon
a
Snow.
great
It goes
light.
dragons, Jon Snow. No, dragons, Tyrion, Jon Snow.
Well, if Tyrion is
Oh,
a
yeah.
secret Targaryen, maybe you can have a situation where Tyrion turns into a dragon. How about that? And like he's been a dragon the whole time. That's why he's a
Dragon
dwarf.
Buddy Griffin does more.
Yeah.
That's a good dragon.
You like that? You like that? That was my dwarf turns into a
It
dragon.
combines two of the favorite things. So there you go.
Dwarf dragons.
And dwarves, yeah. All right, awesome. All right, so come back next week. We'll be talking about episode 4. And until then, hit subscribe. You get a little notification. Bing. Oh, look, you got another episode. You can watch that. But yeah, thanks, Amber.
Okay,
Thanks, Paul.
Thanks.
Awesome. Bye, everybody.